Ever wonder how to influence others, get your way, or just make life a bit easier? Let us take you on a journey into the fascinating world of psychology, where we explore the practical applications that subtly shape our everyday lives. From your conversations to your decisions, the power of psychological tricks is at play, often without you even realizing it. So buckle up, because today we're going to delve into the top 10 psychological tricks that actually work. Starting with number 10, we have the Benjamin Franklin effect. This clever trick is based on the concept of cognitive dissonance, a theory suggesting that we have an inner drive to hold all our beliefs and attitudes in harmony and avoid disharmony. So how does it work? It's simple. When you ask someone to do a favor for you, they subconsciously justify why they are willing to do so, typically convincing themselves that it's because they like you or value your relationship. Yes, it seems counterintuitive, but it's a powerful trick that works wonders. It's named after Benjamin Franklin, who famously noted that he won over his detractors by asking them for small favors. Just like that, your favor asker becomes more affable in the eyes of the favor doer. So, next time you need a favor, remember to put the Benjamin Franklin effect to good use. Moving on to number 9, it's the foot in the door technique. This psychological trick is all about getting a yes to a small request first, which then opens the door for agreement to a larger, related request. It's a subtle yet effective method rooted in the principles of consistency and commitment. Let's unwrap the psychology behind it. The principle of consistency indicates that once we make a decision, or take a stand, we strive to make all future behavior match this past decision. It's like a domino effect. A small yes leads to a larger yes. On the other hand, the principle of commitment plays on the human desire to appear consistent to others. Once we've agreed to a small request, we're more likely to agree to a larger request to maintain this image of consistency. So, the foot in the door technique is a psychological 1-2 punch. Keep this trick in mind when you're trying to get someone to agree to something larger. At number 8, we have the door in the face technique. Imagine you're at a car dealership. The salesman hits you with a price that's way out of your budget. Once you've gotten over your shock, he comes back with a much lower price. Suddenly it seems reasonable, right? This is the door in the face technique in action. The salesman starts with an unreasonable request, knowing you'll reject it. Then he follows up with a more reasonable request. The contrast between the two makes the second request seem more acceptable. This trick relies on two psychological principles: the contrast principle and the norm of reciprocity. The contrast principle makes the second request appear smaller in comparison to the first. The norm of reciprocity, on the other hand, makes you feel obliged to comply with the second request after rejecting the first. It's a clever way of getting what you want. Try the door in the face technique next time you need to negotiate. Coming in at number 7 is the anchoring effect. This psychological trick is all about how our minds tend to rely heavily on the first piece of information we encounter, often using it as a reference point for all subsequent judgments and decisions. This initial piece of information is known as the anchor, and it can significantly color our perception of everything that comes after it. It's a fascinating aspect of human psychology, tied in closely with the concept of cognitive biases. These biases are essentially mental shortcuts, ways our brains try to simplify the complex world around us. The anchoring effect is one of these shortcuts, helping us make sense of things quickly, but not always accurately. So why does this matter? Well, understanding the anchoring effect can help you navigate negotiations, make better decisions, and even influence others. It's a powerful tool when used consciously and ethically. Remember the anchoring effect when you're making your next decision. At number 6, we have the bystander effect. This is a fascinating psychological phenomenon where the presence of others discourages an individual from intervening in an emergency situation. You see, when we're in a crowd, we often think someone else will step up, and this diffusion of responsibility can lead to tragic outcomes. Here's the trick to overcome this. If you're ever in an emergency situation, single out one person from the crowd and ask for their help directly. This eliminates the ambiguity and triggers a personal responsibility in the individual. Another way to combat the bystander effect is to be aware of it. Understanding this psychological trick can prepare you to act when the time comes. It's human nature to help others, but sometimes our brains need a little nudge to do the right thing. So, be aware of the bystander effect and don't let it stop you from helping when it's needed. Moving on to number 5, it's the halo effect. Think of this as a psychological spotlight where one shining quality of a person outshines all others. This trick has far-reaching implications. In social situations, it's why we might overlook flaws if someone is particularly attractive or charismatic. In professional environments, it can lead to favoritism for employees who excel in one area. The halo effect can cloud our judgment. So next time you're making a judgment about someone, consider whether the halo effect is at play. At number 4, we have the scarcity principle. This psychological trick is all about perception. When things are limited or hard to come by, we tend to perceive them as more valuable. It's a potent tool in marketing and sales, often seen in phrases like limited stock or offer ends soon. The scarcity principle plays on our fear of missing out, making us more likely to buy. So the next time you're enticed by that limited time offer, remember the scarcity principle. Coming in at number 3 is the confirmation bias. This psychological trick occurs when we favor information that supports our existing beliefs, often disregarding contrary evidence. It's like wearing tinted glasses that only let through the colors we want to see. Being aware of this bias is crucial in decision-making and information processing. Why? Because it helps us challenge our assumptions and consider different perspectives, leading to better informed, unbiased decisions. So remember, keep the confirmation bias in mind when you're evaluating information. At number 2, we have the reciprocity norm. This fascinating psychological trick is founded on the principle that people feel obligated to return a favor. When someone does something for us, we instinctively want to do something for them in return. It's a powerful tool in building relationships and influencing others. Imagine, a simple act of kindness can open doors to deeper connections and mutual respect. So remember, next time you want to build a better connection, try using the reciprocity norm. And finally, at number 1, the power of mirroring. This is when you subtly mimic someone's body language to create rapport and influence. It's a trick that's rooted deep in our psychology. It taps into our natural empathy and desire for connection. When we mirror someone, they're more likely to feel understood and in sync with us, and that can lead to stronger, more trusting relationships. It's a powerful tool, but remember, authenticity is key. So, start practicing your mirroring skills to build better relationships. And there you have it, the top 10 psychological tricks that actually work. Each of these psychological tricks holds a unique key to understanding and influencing human behavior, allowing us to navigate our interactions with more ease and confidence. Remember, these techniques are not meant for manipulation, but for fostering positive relationships and understanding the nuances of human interaction better. It's important to use them ethically and responsibly. So, whether you're looking to improve your negotiation skills, build stronger relationships, or just understand the world around you a little better, these psychological tools are at your disposal. Now that you're equipped with these psychological tricks, go out there and make your life a little easier.